Hello everyone. Today we are going to start one very important chapter, that is chapter number 5 of business studies, organizing. We can say organizing is the second function of management. First function we have done, which was related to planning. Organizing is a function of management basically, which follows planning. Whatever we have done in planning, now we have to give the actual you can say the face to that planning which we have made earlier. So basically it is a function in which human, physical and the financial resources are synchronized. As a result of undertaking the process of organizing, organizational structure is emerged. In this chapter we will study about the what is organizing, what is importance of the organizing, and what is the process of organizing. So we will study it one by one. First we are coming on the definition of organizing. Organizing can be defined as a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationships and effectively developing resources for attainment of identified and desired goals. What does it mean? Whatever we have done in planning, now we have to give that planning or implement that planning after collecting all the resources which we have. Organizing is a step-by-step process basically, and we can say with the step-by-step process by which we ensure the proper implementation of plan, by grouping the activities, by bringing together physical, financial and the other resources, and as well as assigning duties to the different people to perform the different tasks so that the organization achieve the organizational, or you can say the common goal. So there is one more definition in front of you, that is organizing is the process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibilities and authorities, and establishing relationship for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in accomplishing objectives. Now, it is very important that whatever work we are going to do in future, which we have already decided in planning, we have to find out whether we have total number of you can say the resources, whether we have those resources or not. So after planning, we generally used to assemble, or we used to collect all the resources which are required to perform the job, and that everything we have to do in organizing. We not only collect the resources, generally we used to clarify the responsibilities and delegate the authorities and responsibility, so that there should be the clarity in work among the organization, among the workers of the organization. So this is the step where it enable people to work most effectively together in accomplishing the objectives. These are the definitions. Any one definition which you find easy, you can learn it. Now we are coming on the process of organizing. Now we have 4 steps in the process of organizing, and in these steps you can see the first of all we have to identify the work which we have to do in the near future. That means first of all is the identification of work, and then the whole work will be divided into tasks or small tasks, you can say. So first step is identification and the division of work. Okay, so the first step in the process of and the second step is departmentalization, which we'll discuss later. Then we used to assign duties to the worker, and then we have to establish reporting relationship. Now we are coming it one by one to explain it. So basically first step is identification and division of work. The first step in the process of organizing involves identifying and division of work that has to be done in accordance with previously determined plan, because we have already done planning. So whatever we have done in planning, that we have to, that work, that main task we have to divide into smaller tasks, and each work or you can say each job will be assigned one by one now. So each unit of total work is called a job, and each individual in the organization is assigned one job only. So basically the division of work, with the help of division of work, specialization will be there, which leads to specialization in workers. And this we have done in the principle of FIOL also. Okay, if we are dividing the big task into a smaller one, and the worker, if with the doing that work again and again, so they will get specialized in that work. Now basically we can take one example in this. We can take one example. For example, a school may have different departments like teaching, office administration, library, sports, etc. And a particular department, you can say teaching, can be further subdivided into smaller departments according to their subjects. Yes, so according to subject like commerce, economics, English, etc. So these are the division of work. Teaching department is again divided into different small departments, or it maybe depends upon the subject wise classification of work. Yes, so this is the first step of organizing process. We are coming on the second one, departmentalization, you can say, or grouping of activities, you can say. So once work has been divided into a smaller task or job, then activities are of similar in nature are grouped together. That means like subjects which are under same type of subject, you can say business studies, accountancy, economics, English language is must. So that is that will come in the commerce one. So again the similar type of work will be grouped under the one department. That means grouping of department which are similar in nature is called departmentalization. Basis of departmentalization may be on the basis of functions, and the division on the basis of the divisional structure, and you can say geographical departmentalization can be done. So we'll discuss it one by one. Later in the next video we'll discuss it in detail. Now what is functional departmentalization, or you can say the grouping of activities on the basis of functions. It means departments we are making on the type of functions which they are performing, like purchase department, in which all the work which is related to the purchase will be done. Then we have marketing department. That means all the work which is related to the advertisement, packaging, or the marketing of the product, that will come under the marketing department. Then you can say finance department, allocation and acquisition of finance will be there. Now what I want to say is that we have to make departments related to the functions, whatever functions that organization is performing. Production, like you can say production department, purchase department, sales department, cash department, marketing department, and all the work which is related to this particular task will be done in that particular department only. So when organization dividing work as per the functions, that is known as the functional departmentalization. Second, we are coming on the divisional departmentalization. Divisional departmentalization is used when the organization is producing more than two products, you can say, or more than one product, you can say. Like if the organization is producing medicines or shoes, or you can say some stationery products and many other different type of product they are producing, that means they have to make a department according to the product, not as per the functions. Each and every product needs specialization, needs different raw material, needs different machineries, needs different method of production. That means the departmentation will not be as per the functions, but the departmentation should be as per the products which the organization is producing. In the next video we'll discuss it. We'll discuss the differentiation between the two in the next video. Okay, we are coming on the geographical basis also. It depends. Okay, activities are grouped on the basis of geographical location. You can say the northern zone, eastern zone, southern zone and all. But the main in this chapter, the main important is functional departmentalization and the divisional departmentalization. So this is the second step of organizing process in which we are dividing our similar type or similar nature of work into different departments. Now आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया काम को, उसको डिवीजन स्मॉल टास्क में डिवाइड कर दिया और हमने सिमिलर एक्टिविटीज़ को ग्रुप भी कर दिया इन द सेकेंड स्टेप इन द फॉर्म ऑफ डिपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन. नाउ वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द थर्ड स्टेप, दैट इज द असाइनमेंट ऑफ ड्यूटीज़. अब काम देना पड़ेगा तो असाइन करनी पड़ेंगी ड्यूटीज़. हु इज़ गोइंग टू परफॉर्म व्हाट टास्क. After departmentalization, the next step is to assign the work to the employees according to their skills and competencies. It is very important for the organization कि आप employees को उनकी skills, उनके experiences, उनके qualification और उनके competencies के according ही task को assign करें. Then only they will able to do that activities with full of efficiency. In order to ensure effective performance, it is essential that parity is created between the nature of job and the ability of the employee responsible for that particular job. Again, it's the same thing, nature of job and the ability, whether that employee is able to do that job or not, that should be the parity should be there between the two. If we are doing some different tasks to the worker or the employee in which he is not interested, in which he is not experienced, or you can say he is not capable of doing that job, again that will be the wastage of resources, raw material also and the manpower also. So it is very important whenever the manager is assigning duties to the workers or employees, so that means that should be according to their skills, their experiences and their competencies. So this is the third step of organizing process, that is known as the departmentalization. Next we are coming on the last one. After departmentalization, now assignment of duties we have done, and we are coming on the fourth one. Now assignment of duties के बाद it should be clear in the mind of each and every person who is going to report to whom. That means from where I have to take the orders and to whom I am accountable. Merely allocating resources is not enough. Each individual should also know who has to take order and to whom he is accountable. The establishment of such clear relationship helps to create a hierarchy structure and helps in coordination among various departments. Hierarchical structures means they only because of the reporting relationship we have different type of levels. You can say we have lower level, middle level and top level. This is the relationship. That means whatever instructions the top level is giving to the middle level, those instructions middle level will provide to the junior level, and in this way the hierarchical structure came into existence. So it is very important that whatever instructions we are giving, clarity should be there in the mind of each and every one. And while delegating authority, that means when someone is delegating authority to the other one, or when manager is giving authority to the subordinate and all, that means manager should work on establishing relationship in the organizational structure. This implies the allocation of authority and responsibility among employees of the enterprise. In such a way, each person should know who is responsible to whom or for what. So it is very important for that कि आप अपने delegation of authority को properly इस्तेमाल करें. And what is delegation of authority? Basically, it means when duties and tasks are entrusted to the subordinates by the superior, and the authority should be granted to them to perform those duties and tasks well. That means if I am giving some task to my subordinates, तो if I want कि मेरा subordinate उस task को properly perform करे, तो I have to give authority also to which is related to that work. Then only he will able to complete it on time. So it is very important कि whenever we are giving some work to the subordinates, we have to give or we have to delegate authority also which is related to that work. So these are the 4 steps of organizing process. It is very important, and CBSE may ask this question in 4 mark. So it is very important one. Now We are coming on the next topic, that is the importance of organizing. Now after the process काफ़ी सारे points आपको clear हो जाएंगे when we will read the importance, क्योंकि most of the points we have discussed while we were discussing the process of staffing. First of all, benefits of specialization. When we were discussing the division of work, yes, so when the whole work is divided into a smaller task and the worker is doing that particular task again and again, that means repeated performance of the particular task allows a worker to gain experience, right? That means specialization will come when we are doing the same task again and again. तो benefits of specialization definitely organization को मिलेंगे, वो अपने काम को ज़्यादा efficient तरीके से कर पाएंगे, timely complete कर पाएंगे. This is the benefits of specialization will be there when the organizing process is using. Okay, that means the clarity of work should be there. When the clarity of work will be there, when we are establishing reporting relationship, that means everybody knows from whom I have to take the order and to whom I am accountable. So it clarifies the lines of communication and specify who will report to whom. If you have clarity in your mind, that means there will be no problem in the work. Optimum utilization of resources, avoidance of duplication of work. When everybody knows, okay, I have to do that particular task and I have to report about that task to that particular superior, that means there will be the fuller utilization of resources, there will be no duplication of work, and it will definitely help to use the maximum use of the organizational resources, you can say. So avoidance of duplication of work helps in preventing confusions and minimizing the wastage of resources and efforts. Next we have development of personnel. So organizing helps in development of personnel by delegating of work to subordinates. When the superior is delegating or giving some work to the subordinates, the subordinate will do that according to skills, according to their interest, according to their capability, that they will do that work, and as well as delegating means they are giving authorities also with the which is related to the work. So it will help or it will definitely develop the personnel in their work. Effective delegation allow the manager to reduce their workload. Secondly, manager will delegate the daily routine work also, and manager may concentrate on the important tasks also. So routine task can be delegated and important task will be done by the manager. So definitely the work will be more efficient and there will be the development of the person. Okay, now we are coming on the next one, that is the importance of organizing. Fifth point, effective administration. Now most of the point we have done. Why effective administration will be there? Number one, no duplication of work. Number two, clarity in their job, in their duties, no confusion. So if there are clarity in working relationship, तो that means execution will be proper. मुझे मालूम है कि मुझे क्या काम करना है और कब क्या करना है, तो that means there will be no confusion in my mind. तो मेरा टाइम काम में ज़्यादा लगेगा, ना कि काम को सही तरीके से ढूंढने में या रिसोर्सेज को फाइंड आउट करने में या फिर काम को लेने या फिर अकाउंटेबल किसको काम देना है एंड ऑल, उसको छोड़कर मैं सिर्फ कॉन्सेंट्रेट करूँगी अपने काम पर. तो मैनेजमेंट ऑफ एन एंटरप्राइज बिकम ईजी एंड ब्रिंग इफेक्टिवनेस इन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इफ वी आर यूजिंग दिस फंक्शन, दैट इज ऑर्गेनाइजिंग. Again, it is very important one कि when we are organizing things in the proper manner. Why organizing? It depends upon the planning basically. हमने पहले प्लान किया और जो भी हमने प्लान किया उसके अकॉर्डिंग हमने रिसोर्सेज को कलेक्ट किया, एम्प्लॉयज़ को उनकी अथॉरिटी एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ के बारे में बताया और उनको टास्क को भी प्रोवाइड किया. तो there will be no confusion. That means whenever the organizing is thinking about to expand or expansion or the growth, so it will definitely help to fix the job position, to make more departments and all. Like if already 3 products organization is producing and organization is using the divisional structure, so there will be no problem to add one more department with a different product. तो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग हेल्प इन द ग्रोथ एंड डाइवर्सिफिकेशन ऑफ एन एंटरप्राइज टू ऐड मोर जॉब पोजीशंस एंड मोर डिपार्टमेंट्स एंड मोर प्रोडक्ट्स इन देयर प्रोडक्ट लाइन. It is very easy to bring some new changes whenever some new technology is coming in the particular maybe the raw material में कोई नए change नए अच्छा रॉ मटेरियल आ रहा है, टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस हो रहे हैं, मेथड में चेंजेस किया जा रहा है, उन चेंजेस को इम्प्लीमेंट करना ईजी पड़ता है. दैट मीन्स कि इफ़ शू डिपार्टमेंट इज़ देयर एंड सम न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ कमिंग टू मेक द शू, दैट मीन्स वो चेंजेस इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाएगा ओनली द शू डिपार्टमेंट. तो अदर डिपार्टमेंट विल नॉट बी अफेक्टेड वॉट एवर चेंजेस द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज ब्रिंगिंग इन द shoe department. In the same way, whatever changes are coming, it is very easy because worker are experts, manager are experts in their specialized work. So there will be no difficulty to bring any type of change in the organization. The process of organizing allow the organizational structure to be suitably modified according to the change in the business environment, and it provides stability to the enterprise as it can continue to survive and grow in spite of changes. So these were the importance of organizing, and without organizing we cannot start our work actually. So first of all, whatever we have done in planning, or if we want to give planning in the main actual phase, or you can say that if we want to implement the planning, the resources we have to collect, and the collection of resources, चाहे वो फाइनेंशियल हो, चाहे मैन पावर हो, चाहे रॉ मटेरियल हो, चाहे अथॉरिटीज से रिलेटेड हो, डिविजन ऑफ वर्क हो, दैट ऑल वी हैव टू डू इन द ऑर्गेनाइजिंग. Now one case study we are discussing now, and this case study includes you have to identify it. So first of all, whenever we are solving the case study, we have to start it with the question. So question first will read, identify and state the function of management. First of all, we have to read the question in the case study. So what we have to do in this case study, we have to identify. Identify means only the name we have to write, and when the question is saying state, that means you have to define that function which you are identifying in the above case. And अगर लिखा होता explain, that means you have to explain that function in 2 to 3 lines, and state means only definition. Yes. Now we are reading the case study. In a school fair, the whole activity is divided into tasks, groups, each dealing with a specific area like food committee, decoration committee, ticket committee, and so on. These are under the overall supervision of the official in charge of the event. Coordinating relationships are established under the various groups to enable smooth interaction and clarity about each group's contribution towards the event. Now you can see in that means the whole work of school fete and the event is divided into different tasks, and in that we are discussing that each and every department is coordinating with each other to make the fete more successful. Yes, so we have to identify which functions of management we are talking about. So here we are talking about the function of organizing. Yes, so this is the function of organizing, and you have to write the meaning of that or definition of that, because question is asking to state also. Yes, so answer is organizing. Now state the steps involved in the function of management. जो ऊपर function of management involve हुआ है उसके आपको क्या बताने हैं, steps बताने हैं. तो हमने ऊपर function identify किया organizing, तो that means हमें यहाँ पर organizing के steps बताने हैं. ठीक है, and you can see this के by quoting the lines from the above paragraph. That means first we have to quote the line or we have to write the steps. So it's very important one, when you are writing the answer of this, you have to write like this only. You can see on the screen कि first of all आपने identify किया कि first step is identification and division of work, and then you have to write कि what are the quoted lines, या you have to write the line from which you come to know कि this is the first step. So identification, that means the division of work. So this is the line, the whole activity is divided into task, you can say the groups. Next we have the departmentalization. Now second step is departmentalization. So each dealing with specific area. That means each dealing is specific area. That means आपने अपने एक स्पेसिफिक सिमिलर टाइप की एक्टिविटीज में डीलिंग आ रही है, और वो विच लाइन वी हैव टू कोट हियर, ईच डीलिंग विथ स्पेसिफिक एरिया. दैट इज द सेकेंड वन. नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज, यू ऑल नो दैट असाइनमेंट ऑफ ड्यूटीज. दैट मीन्स आपने पढ़ा कि कोटेड लाइन, द फूड कमेटी, डेकोरेशन कमेटी, टिकट कमेटी, ये सारे डिफरेंट टास्क हैं. तो ये ड्यूटीज इनको दी गई है. दीज आर अंडर द ओवरऑल सुपरविजन ऑफ अंडर द ऑफिशियल इंचार्ज. यस. एंड आफ्टर दैट द लास्ट स्टेप इज एस्टेब्लिशिंग रिपोर्टिंग रिलेशनशिप्स. तो कोऑर्डिनेटिंग रिलेशनशिप्स एस्टेब्लिश किए गए हैं. दीज आर द लास्ट लाइन विच टेल्स अस अबाउट द कोऑर्डिनेशन दे आर डूइंग बिटवीन द डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट टू मेक द school fete more successful. So students, you can see this whenever the case study is asking to write the identify the steps and the quoted lines, you have to write in that way only. ठीक है. So I hope it is clear to you all. If you want, so you can take screenshot of this case study as well as the answer also. Yes, I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, thank you.